Good morning, my creative collective. Welcome to your daily creative reading for May 2nd. We're going to dive right in here, but first, let us start with our opening prayer. So, I'd like to invite the angels, my guardian angels, my spirit guides, protectors, teachers, and their healing energy to this space, and I ask that it is a safe and brave space that allows for the fullest expression of our light, humanity, ascension, and healing. All right, perfect. So the hero's journey, dream oracle. We're going to kick things off with cards from this deck. If any of them appeal to you, the links are in the description below. Oh, two. Okay. The thin veil, let go and let glow. I'm getting some surrender vibes this week so far. We also have one with the sun, be the light, big solar plexus energy on that one. A little bit of confidence that we're stepping into. It's almost like you're letting go of something and that's giving you confidence. It's like the release of something that was a bit of a burden, like a 10 of wands or something like that. We'll see where we go today, though. Let's see. Flip it upside down. Question your beliefs. That is excellent energy for all of the things happening astrologically right now. So the thin veil, one with the sun, and flip it upside down. We're going to clarify these energies with the Muse Tarot by Chris Ann. Okay, so these here. Yeah, there's the 10 of wands. Amazing. Yeah, we're kicking things off with the 10 of wands and the wheel, which is absolutely letting go of burdens and releasing energy here. That's excellent. My creative collective. This is beautiful. What a way to kick off a Monday. It is eclipse season after all. Okay, so we have the Two of Swords. Whoops, sorry about that. We got the Two of Swords. And we have Justice. Now, let me do this so that you can see the cards as well. How about that, my friends? Wow, so that was quite explosive. So we have the Four of Cups and the Page of Swords. Another three. Wow, this is intense. There's a lot that Spirit's trying to tell you here. I'm going to keep these cards. We'll read them regardless because I feel like it's quite important that they're absolutely flying out of this deck here. That doesn't happen quite often, so when it does, it tends to mean the energy is a bit high. Temperance. There's some Sag energy. And Eight of Swords. Queen of Cups. The Emperor. A lot of Aries energy here. And Five of Wands. Oh, and on the bottom we have Justice as Awakening. Okay, so I'll show you these cards as we go through. Now, some of you may know that I usually have a light on the side. I've been trying to not use that as much because it tends to make these cards impossible to see, and I want you to see them. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see how it goes. So we're kicking things off this week with the 10 of Wands and the Wheel. So from this, I get that there's something that you are not only letting go of, but this is almost like an expansion of burdens, right? And you're releasing the burdens. And I think this is an expansion of something entirely different for you, my daily creatives. This is you stepping into your power in a way that you may not have before. And I get the impression that you're a bit doubtful of this. This is something you're feeling some ambivalence about, which is okay. It's quite all right because the Two of Swords, you know, in the traditional tarot, it's the hands crossed and the two swords in each hand. And I think that this is almost, there's something that is cracking you open. There's some way that, and you know, this could be the thin veil, right? Let go and let glow. And this is you, very similar color scheme too. Like I almost get that this is like the light here, that it's just beyond these cliffs in the card, as this transformation taking place where you're beginning to crack open to some knowledge, some knowing, some next step, something along those lines for you. And this is also Libran energy. which is about balance. And, there could be some things that you were feeling conflicted about, but I think you're just getting to the point of being able to stand by your decisions where you may have been so on doing that, right? Where you knew how you felt, but by articulating it outwardly, you feel like you maybe needed more information or confirmation or detail, something along those lines, but that is coming to you here. And I think that it's coming to you because you've dropped all of this weight here with the 10 of Wands and the wheel, right? You've put that weight down, which is excellent. And then, we move into the 4 of Cups and the Page of Swords here. So I think that this is in the context of the Justice card and Temperance here. So we have Justice and Temperance. This particular position is things that could become a tower if we neglect them, right? We don't always need tower moments to change. And it's about stepping outside of that sense of chaos so that we understand that if we tend to our lives, there are some towers that happen that we can't anticipate or see, but then other times there's just maintenance of our world, right? So that change doesn't have to feel like it's disruptive and 555 on the time. So maybe I am speaking to folks who are going through changes. But the 4 of Cups and the Page of Swords here tell me that there's a way that you're not seeing that you are... It's not about creating your own reality here. I think that this is really about you feeling like you are not in control and you're disempowered. Like you're sitting outside of what you want without realizing that you are the thing that you want. And this can be relationship wise. This can be in relationship to career and creative projects as well. But I think there's a clarity that you're getting. And I think that there's just been, it's interesting because in the Page of Swords here and the 4 of Cups energy, we have these 3 cups here, and we also have these 3 voices here. So it's almost like there were 3 different ways or 3 different people in your life who were, and this can just happen when we, collect around the water cooler and trash things about our day or, and sometimes we need to be seen and heard in those spaces. But I get that these are outside influences that, go beyond that. It's sort of outside influences, and these could just be little beliefs, like tricky beliefs about, how you're supposed to feel and what you're supposed to be doing, or it's like there's a sense of missing what's right in front of you, and you might be distracted by these different voices or different aspects of your life. I'm getting big distraction vibes, like there's something that you're not seeing, and then if you neglect to see that, it will eventually become a tower because there's something that you need to see here. And I think this is, the 2 of Voices. This is a confusion card. There's a lot of clarity cards here. So I think this is just a call to spend some time going within. And we have a lot of energy that will help you do that in terms of the Mars in there's Mars energy this month, a lot of it, which can be very hot energy. So very, like, think about it this way, like you're holding a hot cup of tea or coffee and you feel like you have to sneeze, or you're holding a hot potato and you take it out of the tin foil from the oven or from the barbecue and, or grill if you're American. I don't know. I've heard barbecue is not the first word that people use, but that's fine. You take it off and it's very hot. So you're like, but you go to take it out too quickly. So that kind of hot energy is going to be a potential theme this month if we're not careful in how we're transmuting and integrating our energy, right? So between that, the Pluto retrograde and the Mercury retrograde, as well as the full moon in Scorpio. So there's a lot this month, right? Not impossible to navigate, but certainly something that is that will facilitate a going within before we go outside of ourselves. So that's just a call to kind of do that this month. So it's a good way to, you don't have to use the energy that way, but it is here to support you in the way that it shows up. So this is a good month to do that, right? So we also have the 3 of Swords, Page of Pentacles, and the 9 of Cups. Now, what I get here is, it's interesting because this is the protagonist position in this spread. And it's interesting that I'm seeing, like, it's almost like there was a heartbreak that made you disconnect from yourself a little bit. There was like a closed door of some kind. and you didn't necessarily see, this could be where the Four of Cups is coming from, you didn't see that there was just one door closed in a gigantic open field, right? It's okay to be heartbroken, but just don't stay there, right? Because then you start to close yourself off from the world around you, which is very important energy to connect to. So what I'm getting is that there's this way that you started to see yourself as the beauty that somebody told you you weren't. You started to see yourself through the eyes of spirit as opposed to through the eyes of your heartbreak. And I think that that made all the difference, because you're showing up here as the Nine of Cups. And to me, that is not only wish fulfillment, it is the welcoming in of wishes. It is also 9 containers for love and giving love as well, right? So it's making a wish, but from a place of deep contentment and gratitude. This is real appreciation, and it's also about looking within for happiness, right? It's about we're not going outside of ourselves for happiness like we might have done at one point. And I think that when we stopped doing that, we realized that instead of projecting beauty and, adoration onto others, we started to give that to ourselves, and we found ourselves to contain a lot of the things that we looked to other people to validate. And that's why we're showing up in this energy. So to those who have gone through that process, bravo. It's working. It's worked. So you are showing up in this energy, and I see now why Spirit gave me so many cards, because that alone is an important storyline right here for somebody. And then we have Temperance here showing up, interestingly, in the antagonist position. In this way, I just think that there's going to be a need specific to full moons I'm getting. So specific to the full moon cycle happening between the new moon in Taurus that happened on the 30th of April to the full moon in Scorpio, which is taking place on the 16th of May. So I think that there's something in that full moon for you that you may want to release related to these energies here of being distracted by voices, or being distracted by voices or energies in your world that don't really count for much, that you may be giving too much weight to, and that are pulling you off the path. And there's a lot of illusion that you're not seeing, right? So I think this is this isn't an antagonist energy, because I think it's more so a call for you to become more balanced. You've done all this inner work, but I feel like there's just a few more things that you're balancing out. And I think this is beautiful energy as well for Sagittarius and Jupiter, right? The wheel is here, so Jupiter is here. So I feel like this Sagittarian energy is like really integrating. I'm getting this big integration of the beliefs that you now have accessible to you because of this change and shift that you went through. Now I feel too that this is very telling, because there's a way that you have, I think that you might feel compelled to, I'm just getting this sense of, things have happened to you, and I think that you need to break free. This is really showing up in the main challenge today, that there's a way that you may feel that things are happening to you, but I think that this is a call to remember that things are happening for you, right? This is believing that we are indebted to people for things like their kindness, for their help, for the most basics, the most basic things that they can offer us. So this is us believing that we owe people for just respect for the basic things that they can offer us. But I'm also getting that this is a need to reframe your experiences and to understand that intuition is able to see things that you may not be able to see. And that's where this Queen of Cups, this is the sort of the victory over the challenge card, and it showed up on top of that. So to me, this is really about going within and understanding that it's important to stay out of your head and stay in your heart. Because it will help you with feeling any ambivalence here about decisions that you have to make today or this week. And I think that this is, there's a can't versus won't energy. There's a way we're talking to ourselves here that makes it very hard to see clearly. And we may feel restricted by circumstances, but the Queen of Cups is here to say that there's a way that by going within, we reframe the things that we think are holding us back. And what's beautiful is that this is, we end up coming out as the emperor, right? We step out as the emperor from this challenge, which is beautiful because we not only have so much Aries energy this month, we also, the emperor is to me the integration of all of the lessons of other kings, right? So we have, the King of Cups, and being in touch and in tune emotionally, being open to experiences and to feelings, and just this deep sensitivity. And, that is only made stronger by the King of Pentacles, the lessons that that king has to offer us about knowing what's important because we're connected to our emotions. And the King of Swords, that clarity, right? That deep clarity that comes from knowing these things and reflecting inward. And then we have the King of Wands, which is just absolutely one of my favorites in the deck, which is that fiery, passionate leader, that charging forward and ahead, ambition without it's ambition without that sort of charge forward and over people, Mars energy, right? So these are all of the lessons that you've integrated through this. So it's almost like this is a reminder, right? Today is like a reminder of why you are qualified for the opportunities coming your way this month. Wow, that's amazing. Because I just got this one with the sun, be the light, right? So we are the light. We are stepping into our power as the light. And then what ends up happening is we have this 5 of Wands energy where I feel like we're going to have so many opportunities. We don't know which way to turn. And I think that we're going to need, so 20 is the Judgment card, and that is Pluto energy and transformation. So I think that we are going to be transformed because we're going to start to see our worth and value a whole lot more than we might have before. And we're not looking to the world to define that for us exclusively, because we recognize that there's something more at work, and we have a depth of compassion and knowing about what we are worth, and our inner deserving. And there's so much healing that you've done, my daily creatives, and that to me is really showing up here in the Judgment card. And I think that if you step into that transformative energy, the wheel has already started turning. The wheel has already begun to turn. And that's where I think, it's important to question your beliefs, because the veil, we see here the thin veil, let go and let glow. That is very much this Jupiter energy here, but also the Judgment energy here. And so these two things together, I think that there may be a way that things feel a bit slippery or just beyond your reach. But at the end of the day, I think that what is afoot is transformation in your highest good. My darling daily creatives, I feel like I'm getting just reminder energy, like spirit may hold up a mirror to you so you can see how impactful you are, how profoundly wonderful you are, how beautiful you are, all of the things that you may have been looking to others and saying, wow, I love that about that person. But what you really need in that moment, it's not a disingenuous compliment. It's that you're looking at those folks and you're seeing things in them that you want to see in yourself as well. The interesting part, though, is that when you recognize it in another person, when you recognize it in someone else, okay, what ends up happening is you can see it the reason why you recognize it in someone else is because it also exists in you. But we neglect that part. I'm guilty of that. I will push things away like that because I have dealt with so many, toxic folks and narcissists that I tend to push away, things like that, because I want to take the compliment for what it is in that energy without it going to any kind of head or negative place inside, which may be a thing in itself to work on. I'm not unaware of that, but there is a way that we can do this. So if you're in that place, specifically with, I'm getting like there was a relationship or a profound disappointment here that happened. So if you're in that place and you're feeling like you're not sure or not good enough, I would invite you to try some affirmations, just the following. I love and approve of myself. Another really good one is I am loving, lovable, and loved, and I am good enough, right? These reminders that we can give ourselves that we are indeed on the right track and in the right place to receive, because only when we open up can we fully receive. I'm just going to open the door because my cat is chirping at me. Sorry about the shaking camera. There you go, baby. Oh, this door is not closing. Oh, there we go. Finally. Okay. So we're going to clarify with the Smith-Waite Tarot here, and we're going to dive in and see how this will play out with some clarifier cards. Just a few. I'm going to pull the cards, and then I am going to read. So um, we have the Eight of Swords, the Three of Wands, and the Wheel. I feel like this is just a reminder. Like Spirit uses this row here in these readings to highlight things, like to act as sort of a divine highlighter, as it were. And I feel like this Eight of Swords is the real, like this is, we're uncertain of our own power because it's on the Emperor, the Five of Wands, and the Judgment card. We are uncertain of our own power. We do not want to look at this, but there's a positive expectation here. Something's coming in and you need to do this. You need to see yourself as capable of having something because the wheel is turning in your favor, right? That is the real highlight of this particular message. It definitely has to do with your power. There's something coming that you need to be able to look directly at. You need to be able to look directly at it and see yourself as doing the thing or being the thing or being with someone, something along those lines here. What did I do with this? Right. Welcome to the story of what happens when I don't have enough coffee yet. Okay, there we go. Now we're in business. We have the Eight of Cups, Eight of Wands, Hanged Man, and the Emperor. Oh my goodness. And then there's the Ten of Wands on the bottom. I mean, the highlights happening in this deck. I think that this is really, you need to know that there's wisdom that came to you while you were carrying the Ten of Wands, but it's equally important to know that it's safe for you to move away from these things, right? We have the Eight of Cups and Eight of Wands clarifying the Eight of Swords here. So there's a lot of eights, which is a form of abundance in a way. I mean, look up the full meaning because I don't want to go overboard with explaining it because I think that there's something to be said for resonating with the meaning for you. Do look it up though. Could have to do with some kind of divine masculine energy. I believe it was the eights that are related to that energy. It could also just be air, fire, signs related in that way in terms of the masculine energy, and also the Emperor here. Like there's a lot of that. But again, so there's something it's like I get this impression that you know that you're moving somewhere important and you're doing it with ease. It's happening quite easily. This could also be travel, right? Both of these are travel. So it could be, messages coming to you from a distance as well that are related to this unfolding. But I also feel like as you're moving away, you can't see the full picture yet. Like the wheel is not as it turns, we can't always see where the wheel is going to turn to. We have intuitions and we have feelings about it. And I think this is you in the feelings about it. And I've been there too, right? You can anticipate something, something is shifting and changing. And I think that this is you being in that sort of Piscean energy of not being able to see the full picture, but leaning in. And Neptunian energy is kind of funny because there's a book that I read about it that was quite excellent, and it looked at this redeemer energy, right? Neptune pushes us to, it's a redemption journey. And what I really think is important here is understanding that you may have invested yourself and your faith in all kinds of the not wrong things, but things that were not necessarily helpful to you stepping into your power. And this is kind of the story of you putting yourself back in the driver's seat as opposed to empowering other people and empowering other people's power over you, right? There's power with and power over. And I think that for a long time, you might have given people power over you, but this is you stepping into your own power, which is excellent. And I feel like that is bringing in so much healing here. So much healing. And I get the impression that there might be some love on offer, but we'll take a look as we go further. The Three of Swords here is a card of contrast, but it coming in with justice and this beautiful energy of you seeing your own power and worth from the heart space is important. Yeah, Ace of Swords. Yeah, there is something here romantically related, for some of you at least. Let's see what else we've got here. Spirit, what messages do you have for my creative collective for May 2nd, please? Ace of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, King of Wands. There we go. There's the fire energy. And the Six of Swords. Yeah. So I think it's moving away from anything that's not important to you because you're very clear. This is the Page of Swords, right? So we have the Two of Swords, Four of Cups, Page of Swords, Ace of Swords. So it's like, you're like, I don't really know. And then you just see it, and it's almost like this, it flows. Like, you release whatever you need to, it's gone. And I think that there's something that it's almost like with this Eight of Wands energy, it's not a rushing energy, but I get the impression that there's something on offer here in terms of, like, once you step into this truth of this and this knowing, this internal dance that you've been doing with your truth, you integrate it, and then things start to shift, and you're like, nope, no time to waste. No time to waste, because there's something really, really important that I have to go do. There's something I'm very clear about now. I know what I want, and I'm going to go get it. I'm going to go do the thing that I would like. And I think this is the universe supporting you with some kind of opportunity to do that. Let's see what else we've got here. Yeah, 10 of Cups was on the bottom. Oh, that's funny. My daily creatives, what's going on here? I think that this is sort of an unlocking of something, that a deeply held passion or a deeply held dream. Deeply held passion or deeply held dream. Believing in the dream, I'm hearing. Yeah, Nine of Wands and Six of Wands. It's almost like you weren't really believing in what was coming. Judgment again. Yeah, so it's like there was a disbelief. You weren't necessarily trusting that what was coming, right? And I think it's important for you to know that it's safe for you to be successful. It's safe for you to be successful. Yeah. And don't be afraid to step into what might fall away when you really live from that place that it's safe for you to succeed. It's safe for you to have that 10 of Cups in love, in work, in whatever you do. It's safe for whatever you touch to turn to gold, my daily creatives. Okay, let's clarify this Sag card here, this wonderful Temperance, a Sag, my Saggies. Gotta say it like that at least once a reading. Two of Wands. I think this is an important time to dream big. Yeah, with Jupiter, dream big. I'm getting, whoa, that was like, energetically, it felt like it expanded internally, and that is a big time message here for you. Don't be afraid to dream a little bigger. I think there's another reader that had that for Pisces. The World. Yeah, don't be afraid to dream big, because there's stuff. And then there's the High Priestess on the bottom and the Nine of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. So this is absolutely confirming your intuition is everything right now. Do not doubt yourself, because you are on the exact right path, even though you can't see the full thing unfolding. You can't see the full thing yet, but damn it, you are on the right path. I'm just going to pull from the Notes from the Universe on Love and Connection deck to close out this reading for you for today. My darling daily creatives. Spirit, what messages do you have for May 2nd, please? Most people are just trying to survive. Karma is on your side. Absolutely. Well, the wheel twice. Like, yeah, the wheel and the world. So that's like Saturn and Jupiter. They're friends, right? They're friends here. And I think it's important for you to know that you need to befriend yourself, I just heard. Yeah, most people are just trying to survive. Karma is on your side. Yeah. I'll read this one to you. This one's really great. If you could read, this one's not bad either. I think that most people are just trying to survive is remembering that that's the energy that you've been in for so long, right? You can only be in survival mode from that root chakra place for so long before it starts to filter into everything else you do and be the cause of these Three of Swords moments, right? So karma is on your side. If you could read all the minds that I read, hear all the prayers that I hear, and beat all the hearts that I beat, I wonder if you'd even believe how often you're thought of, talked about, and fallen in love with. It's payback time. The universe. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Relationships are assignments for optimal growth and healing. Yes, yes, they are. And it's important to remember that this is that reframing, right? That reframing energy that we had in and with this spread here. There are ways to look at past hearts and heartbreaks. Sure, we'll do that. Past heartbreaks and hurt. And I think that this is a call for you to step into that remembrance of what actually happened as opposed to our interpretation of it, right? To truly flourish is to release all the tension that holds me back from letting love pour through me. Absolutely, especially ending on this Nine of Pentacles, right? Beautiful energy. And the High Priestess too. This is you flourishing for sure. For sure. There was a lot of fire energy in this reading. In terms of signs, I'll just go over that very, very quickly. So I see Aries. Judgment is Pluto. We had Judgment twice, so double the Pluto energy, double the Jupiter energy. The planetary energy is very strong here. We also had Aries twice, that's first house, and we have Pisces and Neptune, 12th house energy here. The wheel can also represent Pisces. I get it more as Jupiter here and an expansion specifically because of its friend Aries over here. And I believe that Aries and Jupiter are kind of in a great conversation right now, and Venus is in Jupiter as well. Like there's Venus is in Mars. Sorry, folks. Ugh. All the lines are getting crossed mentally. But there's also... we have Justice, which is Libran energy, and that's Venus in terms of planets. And we also have more Pluto energy here, and Sag, and Jupiter energy with the 9th house, and Saturn as well. So, and High Priestess, which is, I'm having a moment. We'll get there. The moon. It's like I said, not enough coffee yet. But this is your May 2nd reading. So just remember, we're kicking off the week with a simple and very gentle reminder from the universe. So I love it. I love it. I love it. So my daily creatives, wherever this finds you, if this resonated, first and foremost, please like and subscribe. It helps me to grow the channel and to continue to do this, which I really enjoy doing and love to do. And I'm very grateful to be able to do it for you. So if it resonates, please like and subscribe. There are other ways you can connect on the channel, so check those out if you want. But if this is where we part, I hope that wherever this finds you on the time-space continuum, morning, afternoon, or night, I hope that it finds you well and surrounded by so much freaking love. Take care, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Bye.